All right, welcome back to another Sunday Q&A. Today I wanted to do this quite a bit earlier than I normally do, just because I'm trying to get the charger sorted out because I want to have a Monday video hopefully, and I have a lot more work ahead of me that you know than you know I think I have for a day. So hopefully I can get this all done and hopefully get this charger looking like a station wagon by the end of the day. So I have been doing quite a bit of stuff and just trying to get everything just kind of going, I guess. I mean, it's just been a little bit slow. Just all the cutting you have to do to get everything ready to start putting back together. Especially with this because I want to make it structurally sound. I don't want to have a car that is unsafe to drive because I'm going to be driving it, and hopefully it does the 200 miles an hour like the Hellcat does, because yeah, I don't want to have any issues. But that being said, it's a Sunday and we're working on stuff. So what are you guys? Well, there's not very many people in here. So what are you guys doing this Sunday? Working on projects, or are you just sitting around watching Netflix? Because I watched quite a bit of Netflix last night, and it just kind of hung out. I mean, I worked on this thing throughout the day. I drove the Hellcat up to Springs to go to Costco. We don't have a Costco down here, so I did that. I'm also maybe gonna make a different style video, maybe like an investing video or investing series, and maybe go from there. I'm not exactly sure yet, but I also submitted the order for a bunch of the wide body parts I need. So the wide body quarter panels, rear bumper, rear flares, the door skins, and the door flares. So hopefully, I don't know. I don't know how long that stuff's going to take to get here. Hopefully, it gets here pretty quick because I want to bust out the whole chassis so I can get it all painted. So I need the wide body quarter panels. I'd like to have the rear bumper painted at the same time, as well as the rear doors. Also, I need the rear doors to do a lot of the mock-up for the window frame, because I'm pretty much going to have to make my own window frame, just kind of adjust the Magnum one. So I guess it's just one of those things. When you're making something out of thin air and you're just kind of splicing two cars together, there's a little bit of wiggle room, but you definitely need a lot of parts. So if anybody knows anybody around Colorado that has some rear charger doors, I think 2011 up are all the same door shell, and then I could just reskin those with the wide body skins and not have any issues. So let's see what you guys are doing today. Let's see. Yo from the UK, what's up, monkey boy? Good morning, Dave. What's up, Keith? Not much going on here in Texas. From Oklahoma. Let's see. Hello from Estonia. What did I miss? Not much yet. Just installed a new, to me, car interior, $200 from the Junkyard. That's always great. I mean, I love going to like the U-Pull yard, and before somebody just destroys, I mean, that's the first thing usually at the U-Pull yards that gets destroyed. I don't know why they go to the U-Pull yard, and like door panels are the worst thing. I don't know if people just don't know how to take them off of doors, but they're always just like ripped off, and it's just like, take the extra time. Somebody might need that door panel. So yeah, finding a good interior is always a plus. I mean, there's a few parts that I would like to find for the 3000 GT, and every time I go, it's just like they're always destroyed. So let's see. Fixing my pool. Hold on. Fixing my pool furniture started to stain it and make it look good. I mean, that's a good project, because woodwork takes a lot of patience. I mean, I was gonna get a project boat. I was looking at some Chris Crafts, and then I decided, I was like, no, I don't really feel like getting that deep into a wood project, because I remember redoing my hardwood floors in my house that I sold, and it was a lot of work. It took me like a week, I think, But I mean, those floors were pretty bad and pretty destroyed, and I had to sand them. I had to start off with like, I don't know, I think it was like 36 grit or something, or maybe it was like less than 36. It was pretty coarse, but yeah, the floors after I was done looked really, really nice. But yeah, woodwork is always, time consuming, very time consuming. I'm down for the investment video. Yeah, I just thought it'd be a really good series, especially since nothing's really going on in the, stuff right now is just right now. I mean, I'd say not right now per se, but coming up is going to be a very good time to do some stuff. So I might do a video. I might, some people might make fun of me, but I'm not like a hardcore, um, investor. I mean, I don't do that for my day to day, but I mean, it's always important to have, a variety of investments that you're doing. So, yeah, I'll probably end up doing a video like that. I think that'd be a good little series maybe. So, hey Dave, what's up, Sid? What's up, Dave? What's up? So yeah, if you guys aren't following me on Instagram, you guys probably haven't seen this. I did finish chopping the charger up to, well, not 100%, but to where I think is a really good starting point for getting everything spliced in. So I was going to make my own rear hatch. And the thing about that was I cut these pieces off right here, and then I put them further back. It just looked very weird. So then I chopped that piece, and it just kind of made it look like the Magnum rear. So I was like, I might as well just chop the rear off the Magnum. So right now I just welded in the braces so everything stays true, and I don't have to worry about anything shifting. And then I'm pretty much just going to chop it probably around mid of the front door and just kind of go from there, because there is a support across that. And since this one had a sunroof, it didn't have that support because a sunroof technically acts as that support. So I'll put that support in. Another idea I had with this car is I could put the hatch on it and then just do a glass, not a glass roof, because I'm not going to have a piece of glass made, but do like a plexiglass roof. Have a piece of plexiglass made. I think that would be kind of interesting. It wouldn't open, but I don't know. It might be interesting. It might not. I'm still going to have to think about it. But yeah, I think by Monday I should have this kind of looking like a station wagon. Without the doors, I need to definitely get doors so I can do the door frame. But other than that, I think we're going to be pretty close to having this thing looking like a wagon. Once I get those quarter panels, like I said, I'll definitely be able to get this thing all sprayed one color. Another thing that I've been really contemplating is what color I want to paint this car. I don't know if I want it to be super bright. Like I've said before, I don't know. I don't know if I want another red car like my Hellcat. It's octane red. It would be really cool to paint it that color. But at the end of the day, I don't know, what color I should paint it. I saw a blue Hellcat, and I think it's just too light of a color. The forest green color, I really do like that color. Especially, I saw it on a wide body Charger, and it just looked amazing. So I'm really kind of going towards the green, especially since I'm going to paint the FD that color. But then I could paint it another color. I don't know. Colors are just weird. I may end up painting it red. I'm just not sure yet. I guess we'll just have to figure it out when the time comes, because it's probably going to be pretty quick. Once I get the stuff from Dodge, the new quarter panels and everything, I should be able to paint the bare chassis and the rear doors and the bumper, like I said. I also need to find a rear trunk with a camera. Like I've said before, my trunk doesn't have the camera, so I don't want to cut that trunk up for no reason, just to get a hatch made and then have to rescan a camera, trunk on there, a camera skin trunk. But that really doesn't make sense. So we're just kind of working with what we have. I probably should have found a car that had a few more panels on it and kind of what I wanted, but it seems like everyone that has the camera trunk is really hit hard in the front. I haven't really found any clean bare, or not bare, but clean shells that I could use from the auction. I've been really looking through. Really, Hellcats have gone down with the number that are going through the auctions. I guess they're kind of noticing that nobody's bidding on stuff. It seems like nobody's bidding on stuff, but they're not just letting them bid super low. They're just not running them through. They're just taking them off the list. So that's another thing that's kind of sucks, because I have been looking for a Hellcat, but we really don't know. I guess we'll see what happens and just kind of go from there. But I do need a Hellcat. I would rather get a red eye. I've also been thinking of what, like, so they have, so the Hellcat is the Hellcat. It's like the Hellcat Charger and the Hellcat Challenger, and the wide bodies really didn't change. The red eyes really didn't change. But then we have the Trackhawk, and then the Elephant. I don't really think. I think there should be like a different logo for the Magnum Hellcat. So I'm just trying to figure out what that should be, because it's I've been contemplating a few different ideas. So I probably need to talk to like an artist and kind of be like, yeah, this is kind of what they look like already, but I want to do it like this, with like this different, this different thing. So it just kind of depends on how I go with it. I definitely, like I've said before, I want it to be turbo instead of supercharged. And I mean, I could have like, a hell snail. That'd be kind of funny, but because it's a wagon and a snail has a shell. But let's see. Hey Dave from South Africa, still on lockdown. Love the videos. Thanks. Respect your elders. I don't know what you're talking about. Respect me. I'm looking into buying a wrecked Hellcat myself soon, Dave. What do you recommend for me to look for? I think the best thing to do when trying to buy a wrecked Hellcat, if like my Challenger is wrecked in the front, the majority of everything on those cars, the expensive stuff, is all in the front. I would recommend probably not getting one hit in the front, because it's kind of a double-bladed sword, because if you get one hit in the rear, most of the time when they're hit in the rear, they're really, really destroyed. But at the same time, they if they're hit in the front, there's just so many coolers and stuff. There's like 3 radiators. Actually, there's like 6 coolers in the front, and I think just those 6 coolers, depending on what model you have, it's really hard, because mine was a newer one. So I just ordered all my stuff new because I wanted it all new anyway. But finding the newer coolers, because they updated everything, I think late 8 or early 18, I think it was, and they went to electric power steering and stuff like that. But they just have a lot of coolers. So all that stuff in the front is really expensive. And then if it's a wide body, you have to, source that many more parts. It's just one of those things. It's going to be expensive. Just expect it to be expensive. Or if you try to, I've seen parts for sale, and I bought my hood for my Hellcat, and somebody was selling a already painted hood, and they wanted way too much. I got my hood for way cheap, and they wanted, like, I think triple what I paid for my hood. And even after painting, because I was going to paint everything anyway, but even after painting it, I didn't have anywhere near what they had in there, like they were asking for their hood. So I don't know if buying used parts is cheaper than buying new parts. I guess it just kind of depends on who you're buying them from, because if you go to like Craigslist in Detroit, you can get everything dirt cheap because all the stuff's stolen, or most of the stuff's stolen. There's a lot of stolen stuff on there, but especially when you see like Hellcat engines with like 1,200 miles on them selling for like 10 grand. Like the whole drivetrain. So yeah, it's just one of those things. Just know it's going to be expensive. It's another thing to look for on Hellcats and any Chrysler product, I guess. Well, any of the V8s, I should say. I don't know anything about the V6s being wrecked. So the casting on the blocks are very, very thin, and very delicate. So if the engine is shifted at all in the engine bay, don't buy it, because the castings, if the engine shifts, it just blows a hole in the where the motor mount bolts. It just breaks that whole section off. So that's another thing to look at, and that's one thing I really pay attention to when I'm looking at them on the auction as well, because I don't want to get a Hellcat and then have, you know, a big hole in the block, because then you pretty much need a bottom end. And at that point, you might as well have just bought, you know, a V6 car and then bought a whole drivetrain. So let's see. Let's see. How long do you think this build will take? So really, at the end of the day, I do not think this build is going to take very long, but getting parts, all the wide body parts, I'm going to have the same issues that I had with my Hellcat. The wide body parts are very difficult to get. So that being said, I should be able to get this thing looking like a wagon, but being painted and all that stuff, it's going to be, you know, when I get the quarter panels and the bumper and stuff like that. As I found out with my other, the other ordeal with my Hellcat parts, I ended up getting a bunch of damaged stuff. The shipping companies lost them. So this time, most likely is what I'm going to do is I'll probably just go pick the parts up and not have to have them shipped, because I don't want to run into the same deal. So yeah, quarter panels, rear bumper, flares, and all that stuff, I don't want to have to worry about those being shipped. Plus I'll save money on shipping, because I'll just go in my truck and pick them up, and I should just be able to fit everything in the bed. So my truck gets around 18 miles per gallon. It gets like 700 miles to a tank of gas, and a tank of gas is like 120 bucks. So I should be able to, you know, go get the parts for probably under, you know, I'd say $800. So that being said, I don't know. I just feel like shipping companies are just really overcharging for stuff. Plus they damage all your stuff that you ship now, because they really don't care. So hopefully we'll see what the guy says, and maybe I could get the, I guess we're just waiting on Dodge to see what they say about releasing the parts, because all the wide body stuff you have to get approved for. So it's just one of those weird things. But I also thought about just buying a wide body charger and cutting it up at this point, and just doing that. I mean, I don't know. I think that'd almost be easier, but at the same time, I already have this thing cut up, and yeah. So I guess we'll see what happens with the whole situation with the ordering parts. But if I had the quarter panels and stuff, I probably could have this thing, the chassis and the rear doors and all that stuff, finished and painted probably by the end of the week, maybe the end of next week, but I don't. So it's I don't know. I just want this thing done. I think it's going to look super sick, and I guess we'll see what it looks like after it's done. Okay. Dragon skin yellow is a good color. I wish you could post pictures in chats. That'd be cool. Use the ghoul. What is that? Ghoul logo. Use a shark logo. I thought about a shark logo. I was really thinking, but I didn't know what I could name a shark Hellcat, because there's like the Hellcat and the Trackhawk, but what would a shark be called? So I don't know. I was really looking at sharks. Let's update from South Africa. Hopefully you're safe in Colorado. Looking forward to some new videos. Thanks. I mean, I'm safe. I've been just hanging out. I mean, I don't know. It's the only thing that's really changed for me is I can't go sit down and eat at restaurants, and there's like no events going on, and YouTube stopped like pretty much paying for any like advertisement for like creators. Pretty much. I mean, it's super down. It got cut. My channel got cut like almost 85%. So yeah, I mean that kind of sucked, but I mean, I guess we'll live on. Let's see. Watching from Ohio. Love the content. Keep it up. Thanks, Travis. I was wondering if it's possible to take a newer Dodge Caravan, swap the motor with an SRT8. If so, would like to see it done. I think the Caravans are front wheel drive, so there'd be a lot of modification. I think they do them front wheel drive because there isn't a, I don't know. Are they all wheel drive? That's I still think they're horizontally mounted when they're all wheel drive. I'm not sure. I've never really looked into the Caravans. What's up? It's a guy by the name of Topo. Give him a lookup. What? What's up? It's a guy by the name of Topo. Give him a lookup. I don't even know what that means. Sharknado. I don't know if I want to associate it with those crappy Sharknado movies. I also was thinking I was all the Tasmanian Devil, but I I don't think what is Warner Brothers, are they still their own company, or does Disney own them too? Because I'm pretty sure if I did like the Tasmanian Devil logo, they'd probably sue the shit out of me. But the Davinator. Skoda Dragon Skin Yellow. I'll have to look that up. Many greetings from Germany. What is going on? What's up, Dave from New York? What is up? The Taz. Haha, hell yeah. I mean, I think the Tasmanian Devil one would be kind of sick because, I mean, I don't know, it really doesn't make sense, but I mean, it kind of makes sense. But I'll have to get some ideas. I'll have to see how it comes together and then decide. Disney would be out. Does Disney own Warner Brothers too? I mean, they own everything. They suck. I mean, it's like a monopoly now of like movies. I wish the movies weren't closed because I was really waiting to see the new Quiet Place 2, but now it's probably pushed out for like months. So it's supposed to come out like the week after this crap happened. But yeah, I really like watching movies. I pretty much watched almost every movie since forever. I mean, not every movie. I can't say every movie because there's a bunch of movies that I don't want to watch. But let's see. Disney would be after you. What about the hedge? The hedge. I think he says hedgehog, like Sonic emblem. Nah, I don't know about that. I mean, I guess it means it would be fast, but the great thing about the Tasmanian Devil, it just destroys everything. So, but I mean, we'd have to put something really nasty in there. I'd almost have to get like like Dodge would have to send me. I think Dodge should start working with me, but they should send me a Hellcat engine. I could put a twin turbo kit on it, and then make like 1,600 horsepower, and then just destroy the tires is what it'd do. But I mean, that'd be sick. Let's see. Do you work at your shop or just build your cars? I just work on my own stuff. A long time ago, I worked on people's cars when I worked at the junkyard, and it was just not worth it. It just like people complain about just stupid stuff, and it's just like, no, I'll just work on my own stuff, and like especially you could just buy a car that's broke, fix it, and then sell it, and then you don't have the same people aren't going to complain about it. I mean, unless you do like shoddy work, but it's they're weird expectations. It's just kind of crazy. So I think AT&T owns them because they bought Time Warner. I'm not sure. I think Time Warner and I don't know. Are they? I think that's a totally different company. Let's see. Warner Brothers made me think of the Parker Brothers. Those guys made some sick projects. Hi, Dave from the United Kingdom. I hope you're staying safe and well. Keep great videos going. Love the Hellcat. Thanks. Nice car for you. But I don't know. I want to probably get this thing. I don't know. Like I said, I want to get this thing done. I have a bunch of other stuff. I plan on also So I just finished up. If you guys watched the FC video, I just finished up the rear suspension on the FC finally. So that thing is pretty much decent. I need to put a new uh, steering rack in it because it has a little bit of slop. What's to be expected? The car's old as hell, and the steering rack's probably the original one. And when I redid all the energy suspension bushings, I just put like new dust covers on the tie rod ends. So um, yeah, I'll probably just end up messing with the PBM arms, but I shouldn't have to really worry about getting alignment. I should be able to just align all that stuff by eye and tape measures and not really have to worry about it. But yeah, I need to do a steering rack. I want to get the FD down to the shop and start messing with that. Kind of do a video, get the turbo manifold built, get the new intercooler system made, and all that stuff. So, uh, one thing I just did decide on doing with the FD is changing the whole intercooler setup as well as the turbo setup because I was just having issues with the turbo that was on it. It was running out. It was a 3582 with a T4 housing, and it just wasn't enough for the FD. So it was just pretty much overspinning the turbocharger, and I think it made like 450 or something like that. And they're like, yeah, this turbo is just not going to handle it. And if we keep going, it's just going to blow the turbocharger, which is already shooting oil everywhere in the first place. And yeah, so I mean, the new turbo and the new like painting the FD will be nice, but I don't want to get into painting the FD until I'm done with the VR4, and that'll be nice because then if the VR4 is done, there won't be a bunch of VR4 stuff laying around. And I have one side skirt for the VR4. The VR4 is in need of a driver side skirt, but I haven't found a good one yet. So I'm still looking. The cladding's ready. The side skirt's ready. I did some plastic welding on the side skirt for the passenger side because one of the clips was busted, but at least it wasn't warped, so we don't have to worry about that. Just a lot of projects going on, so I just try to fit them all in, and don't really want to start on the FD painting that. I really don't want to start on painting anything. Painting is just such a hassle, but I definitely want the new charger to get painted. So I mean, I cut this thing up yesterday pretty good. She's definitely, or maybe it was the day before, but she's definitely hacked up. But I got so much room back here now. Somebody was saying it looks like a truck, and I was like, yeah, it kind of does. If I had longer doors on it and the seats went back a little bit further, like if the doors like went back here, I almost had like the Challenger doors on here, I can make this thing to like a little truck, and it'd be done. And have like a little convertible top on it or something. Nah. We have this over here getting ready. I brought I did cut all this with the Sawzall and the angle grinder, but I didn't want to really hack it up that much with the I brought my plasma cutter, so we're going to be cutting that Magnum up with a plasma cutter, which it'll cut so much quicker. The only issue with plasma cutters in cars is lighting them on fire. So hopefully I don't well, I have a hose, but hopefully I don't light it on fire because this thing would burn to the ground if I probably just push it out and let it burn. But I don't want those tires to go to waste. Look at those tires. They're still good. Let's see. Here you did a custom airbrush and body work. Customers helped me decide to retire. People don't understand how expensive paint is. Yeah, I mean, the one thing about painting, nobody understands how much time it takes to make a car look nice painting it. I mean, I could literally paint cars I could paint a car in a day, but I just pretty much DA it and do whatever spot primering, DA it again, and then just spray it and not really care. I mean, I could paint a car in a day without caring, and it would look good. But most of the people that saw it because most of the people don't really understand paint, and they don't understand. They don't even really notice colors. So as long as a car looks shiny, to most people, they're just like, oh yeah, that's a nice car. But if you know like what nice cars look like and nice paint looks like, there's just so much extra work that goes into it. It's just crazy to think that people just complain about paint jobs and they have no clue or anything like mechanic work or painting or anything with cars. So pretty much anything with anything, most people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So um, let's see. When are you gonna respray the rotary, Dave? Which one? Let's see. Asterisk in the name of the masked Roman character. Hold on, what? What? I don't know. JDM Junkyard Dave merchandise. I mean, I have a Shopify, but I think I'm going to close it because it's costing me, like, I sell stuff and literally it costs me more a month to even have this stupid website. So I might just close it down and then just do like live streams and be like, who wants some stuff? And then just email me and then we could PayPal. But I mean, it's not worth the cost. I think I spent like probably $2,000 on Shopify last year, and I made like maybe $200. So yeah. Oh, I mean, I made like $200, and then I like lost $1,800. So it's definitely not worth it. So let's see. So much room for activities. Do what? Oh, do karate in it. Hey Dave, will you send merchandise to the UK? Yeah, I mean it's all right now. It's set up on Shopify, so it just adds shipping. So, did you go to school for welding, or did somebody show you how? No, I pretty much just same with painting. I just taught myself how to weld, how to paint. Um, get a good welding blanket. Um, yeah, good welding blanket really isn't gonna. I mean, plasma cutting, it just shoots, it just blows like hot molten big chunks of metal. It's not like the welding spatter. Actually, the funny thing about that is I caught a just a normal blanket on fire when I was grinding the. No, I was welding. I caught my towel on fire. So I was like, oh, what's that smell? It smells like something's on fire. But yeah, so too many 13-year-olds on YouTube with 40 years of experience. Morning from Australia, 4 a.m. and off to work. Man, that's pretty early to go to work. But yeah, I don't know what else. Other than I mean, I had fun driving the Hellcat yesterday. It was I cruised it up to Colorado Springs. It really nice. There was a Camaro that kind of ripped up on me, and then once they figured out that it was a Hellcat, they just kind of they didn't want to race anymore. They're just like were like I wanted to race them just to be a dick, but they're like probably doing 100 plus to catch up to me, and then they found out it wasn't a like a Scat Pack or an RT or whatever, and then they just backed off, which kind of sucked because I wanted to race somebody. It seems like every time I'm going somewhere in it, that like there's the fast cars going the other way, or I'm driving my truck, or it's just like, come on, be going the same way. So let's see. Hey, from Florida, how's things going? They're going pretty good. I mean, I'm just working on projects as always. I mean, it's there's nothing really else to do than to either sit at home and do nothing or work on projects. So I vote for working on projects. I think it's the best thing I could do this time. Can I start it up for us, please? Start what up? There's no engines in either cars. There's literally no engines. We have no engines. The Hellcat, I mean the Hellcat's at home. I drove my truck because I thought I was gonna have to pull this Magnum up on the pad, but my old boss actually moved it for me yesterday, so that was tight, and I didn't have to move it with my truck. You would have been fun to work with. I'm an old school fabricator too. Tight. Would be nice to build a model with, hold on, build a model with twin turbo Hellcat. Yeah, I mean, I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like the supercharger, I've said this so many times. I just feel like the supercharger, it's cool, but the turbos are just so much better. I mean, I don't know how many times I can say it. It's just so easy to turn the boost up on a turbo car than a supercharged car and make way more power. Just a new tune, more fuel, more boost. So, yeah, I mean, if Hellcats were turbocharged, I mean, Dodge probably did a solid by making it harder, because people would just be literally buying those cars, throwing a tuner on them, turning the boost up to whatever, making like 1,200 horsepower, and really wrecking those things. So maybe that's why they didn't turbocharge them. Who knows? I mean, maybe it was, they were like, well, to get more power out of this, they're gonna have to do pulleys and all this other stuff. So hey, from New Jersey, I love watching your videos. I love junkyards. Tight. Thanks. Can we see some truck action? I mean, I just have the F350. It's just a work truck. I have a 97 Mercury Mountaineer V8 5-liter. It won't start. All the lights came on, but won't start. I think it's the starter. What do you think? I mean, it could be a lot of things. It's probably the battery, but I don't know. It just kind of depends what it is. Let's see. Hey Dave, my buddy got back a hold of me. He will be emailing you about the Magnum build. Awesome. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I really need to be able to, I don't know, if I could just buy the stuff, hopefully. I mean, if we could work something out, but I guess we'll see what he says. I really want to have this thing. I really want to have it, the chassis painted by, I mean, if I had the parts, I could have it done by the end of the month, which would be awesome. So, well, the chassis painted and ready to go, and then really just have to paint the front doors and the front body panels. But yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, I can't wait to see this thing done. I mean, I feel if I could turbocharge this Hellcat engine, or if I could get an Elephant engine, twin turbo it, or put a big single or something on it, and make like at least 1,200. I mean, those things easily can make 1,200. It would just be a monster. People would be so pumped. So, I mean, imagine I don't know. Imagine how fast they go. That'd be interesting. Fastest Magnum. That'd be tight. Average person can't drive a 700 horsepower car. A lot would die with turbos. I mean, yeah, I just don't know. I've been driving fast cars for so long, and especially I have been driving sketchy fast cars for so long. I mean, when I was in high school and college, I don't know, my 240, it wasn't, so my 240 wasn't too fast when I had it in high school, and but I did such sketchy stuff with it. I mean, I'd go up to the mountains, go drift, and pretty much cash my tires, and I'd get paid like every other week. So I'd have to wait to buy new tires, but I'd drive on those tires and they'd be completely bald. I remember one winter I was doing like 75 miles an hour with like bald corded tires in the snow on the highway. And I was just like, fine. I mean, the car's just like, it's going straight, but I mean, it's just like sketchy. It's just a weird feeling. I mean, I drove that, like, I drove cars like that for forever. And then, and then I started driving faster cars. I think the next car, my 240 was slow. It only had like 175 horse. And then I had something, I had the Talon. It was 550 horsepower, but it was all-wheel drive. I drove that for a while, and then I had a then I drove, what did I drive? 450 horsepower 240, that SR, and then I went up to 600 horsepower. What was that in? That was in, I don't even remember. That was in, I don't know. I can't even remember what that was in. But yeah, it's just I've just had so many cars, and they're just, you kind of have to learn how to drive them. But I feel like driving really sketchy cars when you're younger is, especially rear wheel drive cars, is teaches you a lot, especially about driving faster cars, because you kind of know how to keep them under control and kind of gradually increasing your horsepower and the feeling. And once you kind of learn the ins and outs and of a car and how it's going to react to certain things, especially like the Hellcat. Um, I mean, it is very responsive, but when you're pretty much coming out of a slide or something, I feel like the front tires, or maybe it's the rear tires, they're just kind of gripping back up. It almost wants to like, it just wants to like jerk. So I mean, it's just one of those things. If I didn't know how to drive a Hellcat or drive a fast car before I bought a Hellcat, I really don't feel like I just go out and just be like, yeah, let's do 200 miles an hour in this thing. I kind of want to warm up to it, I guess. I almost feel like if I was going to buy one and I never drove anything fast before, I would probably go to like one of those, in like where you can rent the supercars and go like drive a variety of faster cars of different horsepower levels before I went out and just went on the street with a 700 horsepower car and wrecked it. So I don't know. I mean, maybe that's just me. Let's see. Dave, you should put the front end of a Challenger on your Charger. No, I don't think so. That's I don't think so. If I was gonna do a Charger, or if I was gonna do a Challenger wagon, I would just do a Challenger and make it a two-door wagon. I think that would I think that would kind of suit it a little bit better. What's my zodiac sign? I don't know. Is that when you're the month you're born? Is that the zodiac thing? Go faster, don't go. I have a 2006 Mountaineer Premier with a 4.6 3-valve with a lovely Ford tick 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 sound, but it doesn't. Hold on, but it doesn't. But it does have 171k miles. What do I expect? But it's rust free. I also just bought a 99 Mustang from Copart, 85k miles for 300 plus fees. 300 plus fees is like, I think 300 plus the fees is like $1,200 after the fees and everything. Only issues, it's a V6. Um, the tick's probably just I mean, the tick might just be the lifters. You could just try changing the oil and see how that goes, or maybe run like a detergent in the oil before you change the oil, so it kind of cleans the lifters out. Might help a little bit with the tick. It just kind of depends on what kind of tick it is. Sometimes you can hear it depends on the tick, because injectors, you can hear them ticking. I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but there's a lot of ticks in engines. So I mean, you can hear the injectors ticking. There's valve train tick. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. There's also, if there's piston slap, it kind of sounds like a tick or a knock. It just kind of depends on the severity of it. Let's see. Make a video with the Hellcat and your mom. Show the reaction, would be hilarious. So that's pretty much what I was planning on doing with that 30-minute Hellcat rebuild video. Was I was going to have her in it, her like reaction, but then this whole stupid thing went on, and she all like, I don't know why she's so afraid of it. I mean, she literally, I don't know, it's just weird. But I don't know why she's so afraid of it. So she doesn't want to hang out because I do too much stuff, and I'm going to get her sick. But she literally has her own business and sees people every day. It just doesn't make sense. Let's see. 526 with fees. That's not bad. Let's see. What's up, Dave? The what? Homes. Would you do a side exit exhaust like the Dodge Viper on the new Magnum? No, I think I'm just going to do a normal exhaust on it. How do you feel about a project with a car which you will rebuild or fix with parts only from junkyards and try to do it as good as you can? I mean, that's pretty much what I already do. Hey, Dave, what's going on? Do you rent space at the junkyard as well as your own shop? Just seems like the junkyard space is more used. So yeah, I rent the other space and I pay utilities here. So what's up with the mid-wing project on the Magnum? Like I said before, it's probably going to be a longer drawn out process. So I really haven't worked on it, and it's just sitting right there. So I don't know. I want to get this thing finished because I want this done, because I have a feeling people are going to be pretty excited about this. And the other Magnum, maybe I'll paint them both at the same time. Maybe not. I just thought about that and I decided just now, no, I'll probably just paint this one and maybe do some body work on the other one to get it ready for paint. But yeah, I think we're making some progress. I'm gonna have to say that. At least it's ready. At least the charger shell is ready for something to happen to it. I don't know what it's gonna be, but it's hopefully something good happens. But I guess I'll end the video a little bit before an hour because I want to get working on chopping the Magnum hatch off, or not the hatch, but the rear section of the Magnum, and just kind of go from there. I did pull the quarter glasses out of it. All the stuff is kind of pulled out of it, so I'm trying to eliminate as much possibility of lighting this thing on fire as possible. But I'll probably I might light the seats on fire and the carpet. I really don't feel like pulling those out of it. But yeah, we're just gonna chop it up here and chop it. I actually might just chop it like this or something, because I need that section right there. Just chop it like that and just kind of work from there. But I guess we're gonna have to see what happens. But she's definitely getting somewhere, and got these windows out. I'm really glad these came out really nice, and there wasn't any too much stuff going on. But we're almost ready, and I need to get these. I need to make these kind of go into the charger. I guess I might have to end up having the seat belts up here. Same with the Magnum, and I'm gonna cut it probably down here and use this sheet metal. They're pretty similar as the inner tubs and everything goes. So I don't think I'll have really too big of an issue. I want to keep most of the charger sheet metal. I'll probably end up maybe cutting this out, maybe not. We'll have to see. I definitely, what is this for? What is this? Oh, this is the little pull thing for the fuel door, I guess. I never even noticed that was there. Maybe that's because it wasn't a wiring thing and I never had to remove one. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna hopefully, let's see if there's any new comments. Let's see. Do I build the cars to keep or sell? I pretty much build them to keep. I sell some of them, but it doesn't seem like anybody wants to pay anything for cars, so I just end up having like all these cars just sitting around. ETA on this build, it just depends. If like I said in the beginning of this video, if I have all the parts, or if Dodge literally would work with me and send me a whole like bunch of pallets of just all the parts to finish this build, it'll be really easy. But I'm pretty much in the process of ordering the wide body rear quarter panels, the rear bumper, and stuff like that, just so I can get the chassis or the shell, whatever you want to call it, back together and painted. But if I had everything, I'd say I probably could bang this thing out in a month or less. But I feel like it's probably, if it goes with how the shipping on the Challenger stuff went with all the wide body stuff, I feel like it's going to be a few months just to get the parts. So hopefully in a few months we can have this thing painted and ready to go. But I feel like that's what's going to happen, is a few months, unless I find external sources. Example is if Dodge works with me and can get me this stuff quicker, but I really doubt that. So I guess we'll see what happens, but figure, a couple months once I get the parts. I mean, I'll have the hatch and everything, or the whole back of, I'll have the car looking like a Magnum. I'll just kind of work with that. I need to most likely custom make a roof skin. I really don't know much about making sheet metal parts, so I may have to find somebody that knows how to build sheet metal parts, and so I can get a whole roof skin made, and just kind of go from there. And I guess we'll see what happens. But let's see. Your next project will have to be a Challenger wagon. So wide body Magnum will, with a hood and Hellcat engine, come on with the Tasmania shark. What? Name or to be determined name. Can't wait to see what it'll look like. Insurance must be expensive. I mean, I think I pay like at least $8,000 a year in insurance. So I mean, it's pretty expensive. Have a good rest of the week, Dave. Hope you get some insight from you when I get my wrecked Hellcat. This shall be the Junkyard. Elgato. Junkyard, love it. That's kind of funny. That'd be funny. Be nice to see the Magnum at SEMA. I mean, like I said before, I'm not gonna pay any money out of my own pocket to take a car to SEMA, because it doesn't benefit me at all to be there. None of my subscribers are gonna see it. None of them are gonna be there. I mean, there might be a few, but I mean, the average person that watches my YouTube channel most likely isn't going to go to SEMA. I'd rather just spend the money. If I'm going to spend the money to take it to SEMA, I'd rather just drive around the country and just like show it to subscribers in like each city or something like that. I think that'd be more beneficial to the people that watch my channel than me taking a car and paying to take a car to SEMA and show it off to a bunch of people that really don't care. So I think I'm gonna end the video on that note. Hopefully you guys like the videos. Hopefully you like the live streams. And as always, see you guys next time.